YouTube. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 13, I believe. So this video is going to be sit down, chit chat video all about my mommy makeover. So my breast augmentation, tummy tuck, and lipo and muscle repair. And I'm just going to try to break it down by each category and just tell you my experience and what I got, why I got it, and what I think. So keep watching for everything plastic surgery and enhancements and of the sort. So first things first, let's just start with, hold on, my kids are being so loud. All right, I didn't take notes, I didn't write anything down, so this is just hopefully not too unorganized. I'm going to start off by talking about why I got the surgery. So I had 3 kids and I breastfed 3 kids. And with pregnancy and breastfeeding, it really did a number on my body. And I'm not saying, and let me just put a disclaimer, I'm not saying everybody needs surgery. I'm not saying it's necessary, but I am my own woman and I make my own choices. And these were all my choices. So, and I respect anybody's decision about their own body. Okay, so 3 kids. First pregnancy, preeclampsia, gained 80 pounds. A lot of skin was stretched. Second pregnancy, gained 50. Third pregnancy, gained 40. Now, with that, I had a lot of stretching and shrinking. And then to add hypothyroidism to that, I had a lot of shrinking and stretching, shrinking. I was always gaining weight, losing weight. So I had a lot of skin on my stomach. I had, I think you could probably find it on my channel somewhere. I had what they call a mother's apron. Basically, I had about 3 inches of extra skin that hung over my C-section scar. And then I also had muscle separation, which I did not know about until I went to my consultation. My muscles were separated by 5 inches. They never came back together after pregnancy. So when you're pregnant, your stomach stretches. After pregnancy, it's supposed to come back together. Mine never did. With that, you can get hernias and other medical things. Luckily, I'd never got a hernia, but doesn't mean if I would have kept my muscle separation, the chances of me getting a hernia are higher. So, and then with my breast, why I wanted to get breast with breastfeeding, I had a lot of deflation. I had no more foliage. Foliage? Is that the right word? Probably not. Basically, I was not full on top. I was not full on the bottom. I was just left with hardly any breast tissue. It was mainly just skin. So that's why I wanted to basically go back to what I had, but better. And I'll explain why. Okay, that's why I did it. I had lost confidence in myself and in my body, which it's hard because to each their own. And also to top it off, you guys know I was going to the gym nonstop. And to achieve the stomach I wanted was not achievable with my muscle separation and with my extra skin. I worked my butt off at that gym and my stomach remained the same. And so that was frustrating in itself. And then just, to go back in a swimsuit, I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I wanted to feel like the Alicia I was. And I really worked, and this was a long time coming, okay? I really, really thought about surgery before I jumped into it. And so, all right, starting with the breast. So I got a breast augmentation. How I did it, this is going to sound like rocket science to those who've never done the research on it, because when I first learned about all the styles, the types, the textures, the way you could put the breast implant in, it was like, whoa. It was a little overwhelming. So what I have is 450 cc's Gummy Bear, which is the type, is a silicone gel implant. high profile, and I went through my armpits. So my scar, I don't know if you can see, my scar's in there. You probably can't see it too well. So I went through my armpits. And then what else? So after surgery, oh, before surgery, I was like I said, deflated 32 CD is where I was at. After surgery, I am currently a 32 triple D or 32E, depending on how you look at it. Some scales work differently than others, but that's where I am currently. I am so happy with my choice. My first consultation, when I first spoke with my surgeon, I told him, I want to be basically what I was before. I want to be just a D. I want it to look natural. And that's what I originally told him. So we actually went with a smaller implant, different implant. And then he goes, okay, Alicia, I want you to look at pictures. Just look at all sorts of types of breasts and get your wish picture. So before surgery, I think I had a month before surgery, I just looked at all sorts of breasts and I found a wish picture. It was nothing what I thought I wanted. I actually didn't want a more natural looking breast. I wanted a breast that was rounded, that had fullness on the top, that had fullness on the side, had fullness on the bottom. And so when I went into surgery, I was like, okay, doctor, this is what I want. And he goes, that is nothing like what you said. And we agreed to go up in size, different profile, and everything. Just we changed it up completely. So I'm so happy. I guess what I wanted originally, I was scared because of the stigmatism. That's an eye problem. Because breast augmentation has a lot, some people just don't agree with breast augmentation. So I had that in back of my mind that people are going to judge me for my choices, but really you have to do what makes you happy and what you like. This is your body, your choices. So I got that out of my head and I changed my mind, and I really wanted my breast to have the fullness, and also I would like to not wear a bra and still achieve the look a bra gives you. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to be able to wear a bra and be fine with it and not wear a bra and look like I'm wearing a bra. So that was my goal. And I am so happy with how it turned out. I love my breast and I'm so happy with what I went with. I feel like it goes for the look I want. I'm comfortable with it. I really, truly love them. All right, now that was the easy part. My breast, as far as recovery goes, it wasn't painful, only because I had a major surgery on my stomach. Not hurt. My stomach hurt. So let me get to the tummy tuck. All right, so like I said, I had both those procedures done at the same time. My tummy tuck. Like I said, my muscles were separated by 5 inches. So we brought my muscles back together and did an internal stitch. And then he took off a large portion of skin. I can't remember exactly how much, but I want to say it was inches and inches of skin was removed from my stomach. And then he stitched me up from, I will show you the scar after, but hip to hip, I'm stitched. So, and then after surgery, waking up, oh, and he also did lipo. I'm sorry, I'm skipping stuff. He did lipo on my stomach to remove some excess fat. And then he actually did it back here too, right here on both sides, because I had some fat pockets there. I don't know. Waking up from surgery, I don't remember it. I don't remember the first 24 hours. It's really just a blur. I wasn't in pain because I was still coming off the anesthesia. I was highly medicated. Zach was my nurse. We ended up, this I got done when we lived in Pensacola. This is right before we moved. My friend stayed, Molly stayed with my kids, and Zach and I stayed at a hotel because my surgeon was about 2 hours from where I lived. So they suggested that we stay overnight close to the hospital because the next day we had a follow up after surgery. But with the tummy tuck, with the lipo, they give you, or at least my surgeon, I know all surgeons are different, but my surgeon, I had 2 drain tubes coming out the side of my hips, coming out the sides of the scar. Those drain tubes are really crucial to prevent any infection. You're going to have a lot of drainage because your body's healing. Um, and let me just say, it was a really, really rough recovery. Tummy tuck is no joke. It's not, to me, it was not comparable to my C-sections. My C-sections were cake. That was easy. C-sections were easy compared to tummy tuck. Now, I thought C-sections was one of the worst surgeries I had ever had until I had a tummy tuck. That's a whole new level. So I know a lot of people are like, well, is it similar to your C-section? No, it was a whole lot more painful. Now, do I regret getting it done? No. Would I do it again? 100%. So, but does not change. It was one of the hardest recoveries I had ever gone through. It took me, oh gosh, like I said, it's hard to like focus on one point. So after surgery, um, I I was highly medicated for a solid 14 days. I was basically bedridden. I even bought a what's it called? A recliner. I bought a recliner, and that's actually, I wasn't bedridden. I can only be in my recliner. I had to be at a good, you know, incline. I could not lay flat. I could not sit up. I walked with a hunch. I was completely hunched over because you can't stretch that stomach, so you have to stay hunched. So you get a lot of back problems. And you have to try to walk around. So the first 3 days, I didn't do a whole lot of walking. I did get up because you have to get your blood flowing. You don't want any sort of blood clots in your legs, and you gotta get up and move a little bit. So I did a lot of sleeping. I would say the first week I just slept. Zach was home with me 24/7, taking care of me. Zach had to drain my drain tubes, which he was the best. I mean, he just is such a good husband and such a good man. He knew exactly what I needed. He made my meals. He kept my medicine on schedule because you have to be so scheduled with your medication, because if you don't, it's super painful. And it was like mentally hard for 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks. It was so difficult. Now, day 1 through 3 of recovery wasn't bad, it wasn't good. Now, day 3 through 7 was extremely hard. And I don't know if it's because your body is now off the anesthesia, it's finally gone through you, and day 3 is when you're not on that medication, or you're not still on the surgical medication. But it was really, really painful. Day 5, I think I took my first shower. We basically put a stool in the shower, and we had a stand-up shower. So obviously stand-up shower. What I mean is there was no tub in our shower. Um, and I just sat there, and Zach kind of softly washed me. I was bruised from boobs down to knees, bruised. I was yellow, I was black, I was purple, and that's from the liposuction. Now, you don't hear a lot of people talk about liposuction and how painful that could be. And when it sounds like I'm scaring people away from it. I just want to really give a heads up of what it's like. The lipo was very painful. It was a very sharp pain. I mean, just imagine how painful a bruise can be, like really, really painful. So if your majority of your body is bruised, it's going to be painful. And like I said, I was so bruised. My scar in my armpit looked fantastic. I just can't believe that they can get an implant and a scar that's this big. Um, I know a lot of people were wondering, I know to go back to the breast, a lot of people are wondering, are scared about getting them through the armpit because range of motion can be painful. So, how my doctor really suggested was to start moving while I was medicated. So, I did a lot of arm raises, a lot of stretches and circles, and I really kept my arms moving. I also had to massage in my armpit and down into my breast, just keep that scar tissue from forming because you don't want that. And I did that while I was medicated. He suggested to do that so it didn't feel as painful. So that's what I did. And I never have had any issues with range of motion or it being painful. Um, and then as far as the scar goes, that looked really, really good. It is scary to see drains going into your sides like that. That I did not enjoy. That really gave me the heebie-jeebies. You know what I mean? That really made my stomach just turn. And again, I don't know how Zach did it. To sleep with those things was so annoying to just have them around. I had my drain tubes for, I believe, 2 weeks. Um, that all depends on each individual. I know my doctor says some people it's 7 days, some people it's 2 weeks, some people it's a month. It all depends on how you heal. Um, and you basically have to measure how much drainage you have. And then you report back to your nurse. So once that drainage is become less and less and the number is right, they'll remove the drains. So with that said, I think it was between 12 and 14 days. I don't remember when I got my drains out. We had to drive back to my surgeon and get the drains removed. So that was not, some people say it's fine, it's really quick, it doesn't bother them. Other people say it's really painful. For me, it grossed me out and it was really painful. It is quick. It goes by really quick when they remove those drains, but I nearly fainted because I don't know. I really get into my head about it all. So it was really quick. So what the drain is, I should explain too. It's not just sticking out here. It's intertwined inside your stomach to drain all the fluids that come here, or that, you know, from your body healing, you have a lot of fluid in your stomach and that drains it all out. But it's inside of you. I think I like maybe 10 inches. I don't know. It's long though. So they remove one and then they remove the second one. Yeah, I nearly fainted. It was the grossest feeling I've ever felt in my life. It was terrible. But once it was out, I was so relieved. I was like, oh gosh, these things are not attached to me anymore. And I was so glad I was done with those. Um, and then I would say about a month in is when I started to stand up a little straighter, is when I was able to finally lay flat in a bed. And really start to feel semi-normal, because like I said, for 4 weeks you are just still recovering. You're far from yourself. So it does take a little bit of a mental strain on your brain to know that you can't do anything. You can't lay down. You're in pain. It's a lot to handle sometimes. But about 4 to 6 weeks is when I started to walk again, walk up a little straighter. And that's when I was just so happy. I was so happy with my results. I'm so glad I had my surgeon. I will link him below. He is in Destin, Florida. I do believe he has other locations within Florida. Um, like I said, I'll link his info below. It's Dr. Ennis. And I was so happy with my doctor. Um, what else? What is there to talk about? And then as far as like actually being 100%, I would say about 4 to 6 months is really when I started to feel like myself again. Um, my, I was walking straighter. I was able to live life normally. I still had to take it slow and, go easy. But at 6 months, I was able to go back to the gym. Um, I was able to use my arms regularly. The only thing that I had to be really careful and cautious of was ab. Anything I engaged my abs in, I just wasn't as strong. Basically, I felt weak in my stomach. So that took time to get my strength back. But I have to say, I am now, it's almost, I'm going on 2.5 years from my surgery. I am stronger now than I was before surgery. And he said it's because my abs are back together and I have that because before surgery, I could barely do any ab work. I was so weak in my core. It was so frustrating to go to the gym and not be able to do anything. But now my core is so strong and I'm so happy that I did that muscle repair. If anything, if I could just choose one of the many things I got done, my muscle repair would have been done first. Before the breasts, before the tummy tuck. If I could have gotten I didn't know. I had no idea. I just thought I was weak in my core, but it's because my muscles were separated. But like I said, if I had to choose just one thing, it would have been to fix my muscle repair. I don't know. I feel like I really rushed through that, but that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them below. And then if I have a few questions there, I'll just answer them. If I have too many questions, I'll do a separate video answering those questions. So I'm going to step back. I'm going to give you a full look of what I look like. I'll also throw on pants so I can show you my scar. And yeah, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's vlog. Bye. All right, so I'm going to show you this scar. I'm going to do my best. My scar is extremely low, so I need to be super careful. I did forget to mention I have a scar around my belly button because I do have a new belly button, which is really weird to say. But yeah, they had to do a new belly button because of how much skin they had to remove. So I do have a scar around my belly button and then a scar down low. My C-section scar is no longer there. So I will show you. You can kind of see my scar around my belly. Okay, I can't show you the middle part, but there it is. Maybe down the line, I'm still unsure. I might get this removed, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know. And then it goes there. Okay, now I'm going to step back so you can see what I look like now. This makes me very uncomfortable. So, but that's okay. We'll do it. Yeah, okay. Oh, it is hard to see back here. I'm so awkward.